All right, so today we're going to just do a quick review of what we did yesterday. So remember we talked about quadrants and that prefix quad means 4. So a coordinate plane can be divided into 4 quadrants. Those quadrants are all labeled. They are labeled with Roman numerals. We start here. We have quadrant 1. We're then going to rotate counterclockwise. So we have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Those are our 4 quadrants. We start in the upper right and we move in a counterclockwise direction. The next thing that we looked at was the coordinate plane. There are a few special features here that I would like to point out to you. And the first is this point right here in the middle. It's really, really special. This is called the point of origin. Sometimes it's referred to as just the origin. It has the coordinates of 0, 0. The next 2 things we want to point out are the axes. The horizontal axis is right here. This is our x-axis. And then we also have our vertical axis right here. And that one is our y. Again, you can see those 4 quadrant points. They're still right there. So we still have our quadrants and we have our points. Anytime that we are graphing points, our points are always in the form x, y. X is always first, just like in the alphabet. So we have our points, x, y. We have our 4 quadrants, we have our origin, and we have our 2 axes. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and look at telling which quadrant or axis the point lies in. So we have some points. Let me go ahead and draw them in here. Point A, point B, and point C. And so whenever I'm doing a problem like this, one of the first things that I want to do is I just want to go ahead, I just want to make myself a quick little graph, and I'm going to name it with my quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I can just go ahead and say, hey, here's point A. Point A, I found it, it's over here. Well, that is quadrant 2. So point A is in quadrant 2. Now remember, you can write it with the Q and then the Roman numeral 2, or you don't need to include the Q. So my next point that I have is point B. I want to find out where point B is. Well, point B is right here. So that corresponds right here with quadrant 4. So point B is in quadrant 4. And my final point that I have is C. So I want to go ahead and find point C. And point C is right here. It's on this line. It's on my axes line. It's on the vertical axes line. That is the y-axis. So point C is on the y-axis. All right, in our second example, we're going to go ahead. We have a few more points. E, point D, and point F. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We want to determine where is point D, where is point E, and where is point F located. So I'm going to just go ahead, I'm going to highlight point D. So point D, let's pick a new color. Here we go, here's point D, it's down here. So if I look back into my little sketch there, it's right here, that's quadrant 3. So I know that point D is in quadrant 3. Now remember, you don't have to put the Q. You can if you want to, that's your choice. My next is point E. So let's go ahead and take a look. Where's point E? Well, point E is up here. It's up here. So that quadrant corresponds right here. And that would be point quadrant 1. So I know that E is in quadrant 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and find